Hey, are you forgetting something from your past or have untold stories for your past perspectives? If yes, then let's complete with timeless frames. Albina Malihor, 1941. A Romanian school teacher in traditional dress poses in front of a damaged building. What does one do with good luck? This 1941 photo captures that era during World War II, when the individual spirit was strong. This photo tells the tale of a hard period for numerous communities in Romania as they lived through brutal war times. After devastation, Albina Malihor believed that teaching children to highlight the vital role of education and hope during periods of conflict. Back from a German soldier, 1956. The German soldier returned home in 1956 and was embraced by family. The tired and relieved face of the soldier would tell a story about an exhausted journey which took a lot from his life. It was the end of World War I, a perfect image that shows soldiers coming back from Europe, no doubt in tears. New beginnings for many families. The homecoming of the German soldiers marked, as no other act could do so graphically, a release from wartime division and an initiative for rebuilding and renewal amidst a Europe rising to its feet. Cow safety measures, 1938. A curious framed picture from 1938 showing farmers in rural America implementing new safety measures for cows. It was designed to protect livestock from accidents. This was an age of growing agricultural practices, and safety became one of the focuses in farming communities. The implementation of these animal care and handling policies is an outcome of the increased awareness on humane livestock management practices, to which more attention was warranted post-World War I. Prague occupied by Soviet tanks, 1968. This 1968 photo of Soviet tanks in Prague is an iconic image of military intervention. The footage shows the tanks moving into the city streets, a sign of intense times in Czechoslovakia. This shot is a convenient axis for the beleaguerment of Czechoslovakia, while Russian soldiers arrived to suppress reformist factions. The invasion of Prague was a turning point in the Cold War, demonstrating both how much control Moscow wielded over its Eastern Bloc satellites and just what kind of fight there still remained to be waged for political freedom. Stroller for protection against gas attacks, 1938. This 1938 photo shows a mother pushing her baby sitting in a stroller that has been converted to carry makeshift gas masks. Artwork illustrates the anxiety and readiness of families expecting chemical warfare. This image represents some of the ubiquitous fear and steps to prepare for a war that would soon engulf most of the world. The use of gas masks for civilians highlights the pervasive fear of chemical attacks and the lengths to which people went to protect their loved ones during a period of escalating global tensions. Is playing volleyball at the beach the happiness of Americans? Let's see. Beach volleyball at Venice Beach, 1934. Here is a great picture from 1934 of people playing volleyball on Venice Beach. The image also epitomizes the freewheeling attitude and colorful social life of that era. A photo from the early beach culture in California, capturing the popularity of beach sports during a time when families would flock to this pastime as an escape from life amid the Great Depression. A tribute to the spirit of American culture that endures difficult times in creative and relaxing ways. Etiquette hints because leisure community involvement is vital. Texas Dust Bowl, 1935. A dramatic 1935 photo of a dust storm engulfing a Texas farm. The image vividly illustrates the severity of the Dust Bowl era, with dust clouds threatening the lives and livelihoods of many. This image really shows exactly how bad the Dust Bowl was for so many people, as dust clouds suffocated scores of lives during this extremely difficult time. The years leading to Thursday's event have been marked by historical drought and dust storms that destroyed agricultural areas in the American Midwest. People placed great pressure on the land that eventually caused failures or crop diseases. And one large disaster cited here is the Dust Bowl in American agriculture. Swimwear laws in Palm Beach, 1925. A 1925 photo showcasing early swimwear regulations at Palm Beach, with modest bathing suits for women and men sporting their formal swimwear. The image is a mirror of the customs and constraints of society then. This period swimwear in the background, swimming attire, is constrained by various social norms, including, however, not restricted to regenerative from those of society. The picture demonstrates how beachwear expectations changed, along with a more general cultural change toward both fashion and social norms over the course of the first half of the 20th century. Moai heads on Easter Island, 1922. The captivating photo of the Moai statues on Easter Island, taken in 1922 against a dramatic backdrop. This brings out the grandeur and authenticity of these ancient statues. Easter Island, the enigmatic Chilean island home to iconic colossal statues known as Moai, has long intrigued history buffs and archaeologists for its centuries of cultural wonder. The concept of Moai statues to this day is ingrained in Rapa Nui history and spirituality. Soviet peasants and radio, 1928. Soviet peasants in 1928 listening eagerly to the latest broadcast from what else? The Soviet government was eager to use the radio for propaganda and also teaching, updating rural listeners with a new policy or development. A pivotal moment in history which shows how technology can influence public opinion and tie isolated societies into the fabric of national or international happenings. German talk among the immigrants at Ellis Island, 1904. German immigrants arriving at Ellis Island in 1904, looking tired yet hopeful. This photo symbolizes the aspirations of an army, of all immigrants who embarked on their new lives in America. Ellis Island, the port of entry for millions of immigrants in search of a new life in America at the turn of the 20th century. This image represents the obstacles and dreams of every immigrant who plays a part in building American life, both culturally and demographically. How strange today's industrialist people were street sellers. Let's have a look. Noodle Delivery Man in Tokyo, 1935. It depicts the lively scenery on streets and traditional cuisine culture of Japan before wartime. A city characterized by fast-paced industrialization, yet the socio-cultural rituals became so as though they were being held back, just like old days. The picture captures Japan in transition, the subtle marriage of tradition and modernity as local business comes to dominate urban culture. This piece remains one such gift that time offered simplistically, then more complexly later on due to events unknown. Discovery of Mayan statue in Honduras, 1885. Archaeologists in Honduras examined a just-discovered Mayan statue circa 1885. The photo shows the beginning of exploration and discovery of ancient Mayan artifacts. The Mayan statues found in Honduras set a pivotal point for the pre-Columbian civilization research. According to history, the discovery has made new paths of archaeological research possible and provided insight about Mayan culture and history. Do you want to catch the rats? Still, do you think you can? Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Rat catcher in Liverpool, 1915. A rat catcher in Liverpool, pictured with his catch in 1915. The picture offers a glimpse into the urban issues and vermin control practices of the era. Who would have thought that rat catchers from the early mid-20th century best exemplify a time-diluted issue of maintaining pest control within growing urban areas? The photo shows the value of pest control in augmenting conditions apt for life and public health respectively within booming industrial cities. Messenger dog in France, 1915. In 1995, a dog in a French military harness, bearing messages. The picture shows how important animals were to the communication efforts in World War I. Messenger dogs were deployed in abundance by both sides during World War I to transport critical information over perilous and difficult terrain. Messenger dogs are the prime example of how animals can help in a time of war and play an important role in missions. I hope from now on you would love to have a pet dog like this, who sends messages to your loved ones. Chester McAfee's diving suit, 1914. An intriguing 1914 image of Chester McAfee wearing his unconventional diving. The picture of the human diving machine meets a small part of this need to capture underwater exploration at its dawning. The diving suit McAfee is wearing shows the technology for deep water exploration during the early 20th century. The design of such diving suits made an unprecedented breakthrough in underwater research and further discoveries and inventions. If you are an old BMW car lover, then this frame is for you. BMW Isetta microcar, 1950s. A delightful 1950s image of the BMW Isetta microcar. Brewmeister bubble design and front door. The following photos of an original example highlight its interesting post-war styling and inherent usefulness. The BMW Isetta was an iconic, low-cost solution for new motorists in the 50s. The Isetta is a microcar designed for the market's demand of affordability and space-friendly methods for commuting back in its time. Liberation of Jewish prisoners, 1945. A 1945 photo of the liberation from a Nazi concentration camp is being misused to claim that widespread atrocities never occurred. In the image, prisoners are greeted by Allied soldiers after their rescue. The liberation of the camps was a major turning point in World War II and an end to Nazi atrocities committed against those targeted by his final solution. A moving image of the effects liberation had on survivors, and a chilling moment when genocide was acknowledged worldwide. Pun gun for duck hunting, 1930s. 1930s comic photo of a duck hunter carrying a handheld pun gun because it is funny in hunting. Hunting is serious business, and this image lightens it up. Hunting supplies and gadgets had really come a long way in this time, even to the point of novelty devices. As the antithesis of hunting, the pun gun represents that there is a lighter side to this debate and also continued innovation in creating devices which are as functional as they are funny. Red Cross dog helps soldiers, 1915. A 1915 photograph of a Red Cross dog with soldiers on the World War I battlefield delivering urgently needed medical requisites. The Red Cross dogs would deliver medicine and help in rescues to aid soldiers. Working livestock highlight animal involvement in wartime logistics and create more understanding of the human-animal connection during a crisis. Pearl Diver W. Schaller gas tank helmet, 1938. Picture which was captured by the lens of the camera in 1938, depicting a pearl fisherman is about to leap deep into water having his gas tank helmet with himself. Conceptual art of early diver used for ocean exploration. Prior to the years of pearl diving, sophisticated equipment was needed for safe underwater exploration. Lacking historical import, the gas tank helmet is an illustrative symbol of how improved technology allows for further and deeper-reaching exploitation. Davida Chitty's one-wheel motorcycle, 1933. This photo depicts the forward-thinking nature of early 20th century transportation. This unconventional motorcycle came from the era where everyone was looking to experiment with alternative ways of getting around. Chitty's one-wheel motorcycle mirrors the audacious vehicle design and search for individual transport solutions that characterized early 20th century thought. Chinese troops in the Korean War, 1951. Chinese soldiers fight in a photo taken by Life magazine photographer Bert Hardy on Deck 3, 1951 during the Korean War water splash. This picture illustrates the conflict between residents and developers. Chinese participation in the Korean War with fierce battles on both sides. This photo displays the Korean War in its global perspective, showing how international powers are capable of influencing outcomes worldwide. British troops chemically blinded, 1918. A 1918 photo captures the plight of British soldiers blinded by gas attacks and treatment facilities. The photo is a stark illustration of the devastating effects of chemical warfare. Chemical warfare was a tragic feature of World War I, which accounted for numerous casualties and human suffering over the decades. This photo is a testament to the atrocities of chemical warfare and shows how long-lasting its physical, mental claims are on soldiers. Did you think about how modern the youngsters were in the 1900s? Let's have a glimpse through this frame. 1950s teenagers. 1950s lively photo of teenagers having fun in their typical 50s attire during a break from school. An iconic image of the youthful, carefree, defiant nature that came to encapsulate this decade. The 1950s were a time of social and cultural change, with the rise of youth culture in teenagers. The picture offers a window into the emerging power and strengthening presence of teenagers in society, as well as changes that were taking place within post-war American culture. Hope you guys enjoyed it a lot and must like, share this video so that your friends may strengthen their historical perspectives. Thank you for watching and giving us your precious time. See you in the next video. Goodbye.